If you're the person who does tons of research around how to be a successful trader and investor, you build out a solid plan, know exactly what you want to do and how you need to execute it to reach your financial goals. But when the market opens and it's time to act, the screen starts flashing, the numbers start jumping around, and all of a sudden you're frozen by fear and doubt. You're paralyzed and unable to make a decision. And then in this video, I'm going to give you the mental framework and practical tools to help break that paralysis for you. You're not going to learn another trading tip or system or indicator. You're going to see why fear is a powerful tool and how to use it as data instead of letting it control you. I'm going to give you a simple 4-step blueprint called the ABCD model for building real, unbreakable discipline. And you'll walk away with practical exercises that you can start today that will help you go from concept to execution, because learning new information is great, but it doesn't mean anything if you can't digest it and put it into action in a consistent, repeatable way over time. And after this video, you won't just know the path. You'll finally have the tools and the ability to build the discipline that you need to be successful as a trader or an investor in whatever you want to do. So to better understand the problem here of paralysis and fear, we'll consider two investors, two scenarios. In the first one, we have an investor and a trader who does tons of research. They know exactly what they want to do. They've looked through all the systems and all the ways to make money in the market, long-term and short-term investing. They've studied fundamentals. They've watched videos. They watch the news. They've got all the best indicators. And they know exactly what they want to do. But for some reason, they can't pull the trigger. They can't seem to actually get started. Why? Because despite all of their knowledge and all of their research, they're still afraid. They still have fear. They're afraid of doing the wrong thing. They're afraid that if they get started, they're getting started down the wrong path. What do they do if what they're doing is actually the wrong thing and they should be doing something else? Another investor. This person's the opposite. They can't wait to get started. They're excited. They're following people on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. They see all these flashy videos with the captions lighting up and the screen flashing, the numbers going off the screen, the charts ripping, and oh, I made 5,000% today and I made 1,000% today. They get excited. They think, yeah, I can do that. They start following these people. They start trying to copy their trades, trying to copy their system. But guess what happens? They start losing money because when they buy, it always seems like things turn around and 5 minutes later or 2 days later, they check their account and they're losing money. They're underwater. So they panic, they freak out, and they sell. Why? Because they're scared. They're afraid they're missing the next big thing. They want to hurry up and buy and hurry up and get involved because everybody else is making money. I want to hurry up and make money too. Then once they get into the system and they get into trading and they get into investing, all of a sudden they don't have a risk plan. They don't know what to do when the market doesn't go straight up, and so they sell. They lose money when things are supposed to be going up, and they lose money when things are going down. Again, fear here is the common thing. But if you notice, I didn't say fear was the problem. Fear was a common thread between the two of them. Fear is not the problem. Fear is not your enemy. And there's this popular conception that goes around investing in the trading community that you have to be fearless. You can't be afraid. It's not a bad thing. And here's why. All fear stems from not understanding. It stems from a lack of knowledge. When you're afraid, it's because you don't understand something. So when you don't understand what's about to happen, your brain sends a signal that, hey, we need to pay attention here because we're not sure what's going to happen. Let me put you in a scenario. This makes a little more sense. Imagine it's a warm summer day. The sun is out. There's a nice breeze. You're at the zoo with some friends or a significant other, and you're having a nice day. You decide you want to go to the tiger exhibit. And because you've been to the zoo several times, but you've never seen the tiger, it's never been out. And as you make your way over to the exhibit, you see that for the first time, this huge Bengal tiger is out lounging in the shade. It's incredible. You've never seen this before. This huge, incredible creature is less than 20 yards away from you. Now, let me ask you something. In this situation, are you afraid? Think about it. Put yourself in a situation. You know that tiger could kill you at any moment if it wanted to, and there's nothing you could do to stop it. Not really. But you're not afraid. Why? Well, because in this case, there's information somewhere in your brain that that tiger is in an exhibit and it can't get to you. Even though it's very close, it's been designed and built, engineered in such a way that that tiger doesn't really pose any threat to you. So even though the tiger could kill you, you're not afraid because you have the correct information. So same situation, you get done looking at the tiger and you decide to move on and see some other things in the zoo and continue about your day. It gets towards the end of the day, it's time to go. You're making your way back towards the entrance of the zoo. And you come around a corner near the tiger exhibit and holy shit, There's the damn tiger standing in the middle of the sidewalk. Somehow this thing has got out. It has escaped. And now there's nothing between you and this tiger. Again, it's less than 20 yards away from you. And now it's stopped and it's looking you dead in the eye. Now let me ask you, in this situation, are you afraid? You know, again, that tiger could kill you, and there's not really anything you could do about it. You can't outrun it. You can't outclimb it. You're not going to fight a damn tiger. There's nothing you could do. Are you afraid? Maybe. Why? Because even though it's the same situation, the tiger, you're at the zoo and the tiger is less than 20 yards away from you. Now your brain has information that there's nothing to keep the tiger from getting to me. There is nothing that's been designed to prevent the tiger from being able to kill me and taste man flesh. In this situation, maybe you are scared because the information is different. Same situation, suddenly a team of zookeepers appears from around the corner. They throw a huge net over the tiger, capture it, and are able to tranquilize the mighty cat. And you take a huge sigh of relief, huge deep breath. You and your friends nervously laugh and look at each other. Thank God that was over. Same situation, still tiger outside of the enclosure. You're still 20 yards away from it. Are you afraid? Well, now, no. Why? Because you have new information. Now you have information that something has happened. There is something taken place that you're no longer in danger. So there's no need to be afraid anymore. You can dial down your anxiety. You can get rid of all the adrenaline that was dumped into your system. In this circumstance, you went from no fear to fear back to no fear, all because your information and expectations of the situation changed. So you can see that fear here is information dependent. When your information matrix changes, the level of fear you have changes. Now, let's consider the two investors I talked about. They're afraid because they don't know what they need to do. They don't have the known ability, experience, or confidence to do what they need to do in those situations in order to be successful. And that's why they get scared. What they need is the knowledge of what to do, the experience of how to do it, and the confidence that comes from that knowledge and experience under pressure. What they need is discipline. The discipline to know what to do, how to do it, and know that you've done it in the past and can continue to do it again. Discipline will provide you with the knowledge that you do have a plan. You can execute this plan because you've done it in the past and you can be successful. With discipline, you don't have to chase the money. The money will come to you. Here's the thing about discipline, where it gets a lot of people. And I completely understand this. When you start talking about discipline, it sounds like this really large, ambiguous, overwhelming thing. What the hell even is discipline? What does it mean to you? When you think of discipline, what do you think of? Everybody has something different, but it always seems like this mountain of a problem. How do you solve that? How do I build discipline? You don't take, when you're faced with a large, overwhelming problem, the best thing to do is not to try and solve that problem. Don't try and solve difficult problems. Don't try and solve complex problems. Solve easy problems. Solve simple problems. Take this large, complex problem that you're facing and break it down into pieces. When it comes to discipline, for me, based on my life experience in the military and as a coach, as an athlete, as a management consultant, I break discipline down into 4 parts. Discipline has 4 things. It has awareness, it has behavior, consistency, and decisions. If you have all 4 of these things, you have discipline. That sounds good. What the hell am I supposed to do with that? Take another example so that this makes more sense. Say you're hungry. That can be a very difficult problem for people to solve. You're hungry. Well, what do you do? If you're like me, you say, I'm going to eat pizza. I like pizza. Tastes good. It makes me feel good. And if you don't like pizza, then fuck you. But eating pizza can be an overwhelming problem in itself. Let's say you get this 18-inch pizza. You can't pick it all up at one time and eat the whole thing in one bite, can you? How do you eat pizza? You take it and you divide it up into slices. You divide it up into smaller components. And then you take one of those components and you start eating it one bite at a time until you get through the whole slice. And then you move on to the next. Building discipline is the same way. Don't try and solve this enormous complex problem all at once. You break it down into its components and then you tackle them one at a time. These are the slices that you break discipline down into and solve them one at a time. What does this look like for an investor or a trader? use the ABCD model. You want to make money in the market. You want to build wealth. You're aware that you need some kind of a system or a strategy. You make the decision to use my 200-day strategy. What happens? The strategy says when price is above the 200-day, you buy the S&P 500. When price is below, you buy gold. That's the strategy. Behavior. What's the behavior? You log into your account, say you're going to get started on Monday. You look at the S&P 500. Where is it? You take the behavior based on the system. Is price above or below? Do you buy the S&P 500 or do you buy gold? Where does the consistency come in? You go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every week and check. Is price above or below? If you follow this framework, that will help you build discipline as an investor. The problem with that is you're only doing that action once a day. You're not getting very many repetitions. You're not going to get very good at something. You're not going to build something very quickly if you're only doing it once a day. Here's an example of how you can take this ABCD framework and you can work on this every day. For 15 minutes, here's what you do. You can start building discipline today to help you be successful. Take the 200-day strategy, for example. Every day for 15 minutes, you're going to log in and you're going to find 15 random days randomly over the last 25 years. Log in, find a random day, however you want to, use a random number generator, scroll around, pick a day, log in, check the price and see, is it above or below the 200-day moving average? If it's above, mark and say buy, take a notepad and say on this day I was going to buy S&P 500. If price is below, then mark buy gold. And then find another day. Take your notepad, on this day, what would I do? And get your examples, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 15. There's 15 repetitions today. Tomorrow, log in, do the same thing. Pick 15 different days, go through the same exercise. Based on this system, what would I do? If you do that every day, over time, you can build this habit around my 200-day system. You can build hundreds of repetitions in a very quick period of time. You don't have to use this system. You can use any system you want. You can use any way of trading or investing that you want to, looking at fundamental analysis. Every day, pick 15 companies, find a template for fundamental analysis, and go through, look at their balance sheets, look at their earnings reports, go through very quickly. Try not to spend too much time on this, 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes a day. Go through this exercise every single day. And then at some point, you need to make this real. Go from marking it down on paper, start paper trading. Once you go through paper trading for a while, you can build up and start doing live trading, live investing. This is how you can take the concept of discipline, break it down into this ABCD framework, and start working on each individual component every day until you get better and better at it. Building this discipline is what you need to be successful. If this is the kind of thing you struggle with, controlling your emotions, being overcome with fear, sticking to your rules, maybe even knowing how to pick which rules you need, not letting a winning trade go bad, or even just taking the first step and getting started with your investing and trading journey, then I invite you to join the Construct. It's my private trading and training group dedicated to mastering yourself, conquering the markets, and living free. In the Construct, discipline is not just a catchy buzzword or a clever quote that gets tossed around and then forgotten because we got distracted or don't really care about it. We don't just talk about discipline, we obsess over it. It's actively built, tested, and reinforced through weekly education and training sessions that have been specifically designed to develop positive behaviors and decision-making habits centered around being a strict, rule-based investor and trader. On a daily basis, we manage trades and investments, yes, but we also explore in great detail the rules of the systems and strategies that we use so we can fully understand why it is we did what we did, why we did it when we did, and what the options are now that we're in this position so we can better manage our risk, take profits, keep our portfolios growing, and get closer to financial freedom. So you can live the life that you were meant to live. You can have that financial stability so you can support and provide for your family and live the life that you were meant to live, not the life that somebody else chose for you. Now look, I do things differently in the Construct, and it's that way for a reason. This isn't like any other trading group or Discord group that you've been a part of. It's going to feel very different. It's not an alert service or call out group. We don't chase Reddit pumps. We don't do the 5-cent 0-day options, trying to day trade. We focus on learning, growing, building discipline, real wealth, not just a little bit of cash, so you can escape that financial system, like I mentioned. A central part of this is the community support. We really work to build a supportive community so everyone can be in a position to be open and honest, really find out why it is that they've been struggling, what it is that they need to do to get better, and be in a position to make real change and real progress. If any or all of this sounds like it could benefit you, help you become a better version of yourself and more successful investor and trader, then check the description, click on the link below. We'd love to have you in the construct. Hope to see you there.